Dear students, in this video we will be discussing the variation of acceleration due to gravity with respect to height, with respect to depth. Okay, so to consider that, we need to consider a point that if you go up to a certain height, then the value of acceleration due to gravity changes. Same way, when you go up to a certain depth, then also the value of acceleration due to gravity changes. So in this video, we will be discussing by what factor is that value changing. Like we will be finding out the variation of g with respect to several factors. So to understand that, suppose this is Earth, this is its center, and the mass of the Earth is located entirely at its center. This is the radius of the Earth, and this is the surface of the Earth, right? When you raise an object up to a certain height, so that height is h. This is the same object and you have raised it up to a certain height. Now, what we need to understand, that when the object was on the surface of the Earth, it was experiencing a gravitational pull because of the Earth, and the force of gravitation between this object, whose mass was small m, and the mass of the Earth is capital M. That force of gravitation is gmm divided by capital R square, where capital R is the distance between these two masses right now. Okay, so this is the force of gravitation between them. Same way, when you see that this object is experiencing some force because of the gravitation, because of the Earth. So force always means mass into acceleration. Okay, so this object will be accelerated towards Earth with the acceleration due to gravity, and F will be equal to m into small g. So these two are the forces, basically one and the same force experienced by the object when it is kept on the surface of Earth. So you can equate these two and you're going to get gmm upon r square equals to mg. So this means that this m will be cancelled with this and g will be equal to gm upon r square. But when you raise the object up to a certain height called h, so the force of gravitation between this object, which is now raised to a certain height, and the Earth, that force will be equal to gmm upon, it won't be r square now, because the distance of separation between mass capital M and mass small m, it has gone up to r plus h whole square. Reason being, now the distance is r plus h, and Newton's law of gravitation says that you have to square the distance, right? Same way, that force which will now be acting on this mass, see, since the Earth is attracting this mass because of its gravitational pull, and gravitational pull is a force, and every force means mass into acceleration. So this means even when the object is raised up to a certain height, Earth is attracting it. Earth is attracting it and it is facing an acceleration, and that acceleration is not ordinary, rather it is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, so this will become mg dash. This g dash is a new one. This g dash is the acceleration due to gravity when the object is raised up to a certain height. See, I told you that when you are raising the object to a certain height, or when you are taking the object up to a certain depth, then the value of g changes, and we have to just find out the amount by which it gets changed. So these two equations are the equations of a force in that situation when the object is raised up to a certain height. So you can compare these two equations. So it will be mg dash equals to gmm divided by r plus h whole square, right? And you can cancel m and you're going to get g dash equals to gm upon r plus h whole square. Now this is the initial acceleration due to gravity, and this is the acceleration due to gravity when the object is raised up to a certain height. Okay, so after that we have to compare both of them. And when you compare both of them, so it will become g dash upon g, right? Take the ratio g dash upon g, it will become gm upon r plus h whole square, gm upon r square. This gm and gm cancel, so g dash upon g becomes r square upon r plus h whole square, right? G dash upon g becomes r square upon, take r square common from here. This will become 1 plus h upon r whole square. Like you are taking r common and this will become 1 plus h upon r, and since there is a square also, so take it out, it will become r square. So r square cancelled with r square, right? And after that, what are you going to see? That g dash upon g is becoming 1 plus h upon r raised to the power minus 2. See, it became 1 upon 1 plus h upon r square. So I can write it 1 plus h upon r raised to the power minus 2. Now I have to tell you something very important. There is a mathematical formula which is known as binomial theorem. Binomial theorem is a theorem which helps you to expand the expressions up to whatsoever power it is. For example, if you have 1 plus x raised to the power n and the x is very, very small as compared to 1. So you can neglect the higher terms, okay? And the expression will reduce to 1 plus nx. Same way when you have 1 plus x raised to the power minus n, okay? So actually this expression is long, it's a complete binomial theorem, but these are the special cases. When you want to expand 1 plus x raised to the power minus n and x is very, very less than 1, then it becomes 1 minus nx. This minus n comes in front, and these are the two formulas. Had it been plus n, then plus n would have come in front, and this is it. So you need to remember that, okay? Same way g dash upon g. This g dash upon g, what it is going to become? This minus 2 will come in front. This will become 1 minus 2h upon r. This minus 2 will come in front, and this h upon r is very, very less than 1, because height is a very small height to which you have raised the object, and r is the big, big radius of the earth. So of course this ratio h by r is going to be less, right? So you have got this, and after that what you can see, g dash is equal to, take this g to the other side, 1 minus 2h upon r, right? So g dash is equal to g 1 minus 2h upon r, okay, and g dash is equal to g into 1g minus this term. So what you can see, that g dash is g minus something. G is ordinary acceleration due to gravity when the object was at the surface of the earth. So this means when you raise the object up to a certain height, then the acceleration due to gravity decreases than the ordinary value. Okay, so this is it. You need to believe that when you are going up to a certain height, that is why on mountains you feel less value of acceleration due to gravity, because of this reason only. Because always remember, when the object goes up from the surface of the earth, then its value of acceleration due to gravity decreases. So students, so far we have studied that whenever we have any object and we raise it up to a certain height above the surface of the earth, then the acceleration due to gravity experienced by that object decreases, and its value is given by g dash equals to g 1 minus 2h by r. where h is the height to which the object has been raised, g dash is the new acceleration due to gravity, and g is the initial acceleration due to gravity, right? But this relation is valid only when the height above the surface of the earth is very lesser than the radius of the earth. Like if I have raised the object up to that height, which is not that much that it even exceeds the radius of earth, which is quite a larger value, like 6400 kilometers. Okay, so after that, always remember that this relation is only valid for this condition. If you talk about any other ordinary situation, like any satellite getting rising, any situation where you see that the height is comparable with the radius of the earth, then this relation is valid, the one that we had studied. Okay, so also when the height to which the object is raised becomes equal to the radius of the earth, like I have raised the object up to 6400 kilometers above the surface of the earth, then in place of height you can take r, and this will become g dash upon g, r square upon r plus r square. You can put r in place of h, and this way this becomes r square upon 2r square. This becomes g dash upon g, r square upon 4r square. This becomes g dash upon g, r square cancel 1 by 4. So this means when I am going to raise an object to that height which is approximately equal to the radius of the earth, like if I am going to raise the object up to 6400 kilometers, then the acceleration due to gravity experienced by the same object will reduce to 1 by 4 of its initial value, like on the surface of earth. Okay, and next topic is percentage decrease in g. Like I know, raise the object up to a certain height, you will face a decrease in acceleration due to gravity. Now we'll talk about percentage decrease in g. Okay, by what percent the acceleration due to gravity decreases? So g dash is equal to g 1 minus 2h upon r, right? G dash is equal to g minus, multiply these two, 2hg upon r, and take this term to this side and take this term to this side. You will get g minus g dash 2hg upon r, and take this g to the other side. This will be a fractional decrease in g. And percentage decrease, multiply this term by 100 and you are going to get this percentage decrease, right? Now we are going to do one numerical over this. Okay, the numerical says that at what height you should raise the object above the surface of the earth so that the acceleration due to gravity actually reduces by 64% of its initial value. If acceleration due to gravity reduces by 64%, this means how much value does it have now? 100 minus 64. It has reduced by 64%. So that value is 36%, right? So this means g dash is equal to 36 upon 100 of initial value g. Since you have raised the object up to a certain height, so g dash will be equal to, g dash upon g will be equal to r square upon r plus h whole square. Okay, so this will become g dash upon g is g dash equals to r square r plus h whole square g. And in place of g you can write g dash, you can write 36 by 100 into g, right? And this g and g will cancel each other. You're going to get r square upon r plus h whole square 36 by 100. So r square plus upon r plus h whole square is equal to 36 by 100. We can write it 6 by 10 whole square. Now these squares can be cancelled. You can write taking the square root of both sides and you're going to get r upon r plus h is equal to 6 upon 10. So after that, solve the equation. and put the value of r. R is a radius of Earth which is 6400 kilometers, and you will get the value of the height to which you should raise the object so that the acceleration due to gravity reduces by 64% and it becomes 36 by 100. Okay. Now the topic that we are going to study is variation of g with depth. Okay. Now we are bringing the object from the surface of the Earth to a certain depth, and we have to check how g is going to, acceleration due to gravity is going to change when we bring an object up to a certain depth. Let's have a look here. We'll discuss two cases here. Case number one, this is the Earth. This is the surface of the Earth. Case number one, the object is on the surface of the Earth. The mass of the Earth is situated at its center. Like it's located at the center of mass. This is the radius of the Earth. Okay. And this is case number two. Object is taken at some depth inside the surface of the Earth, right? So how to go about it? In case number one, when the object is on the surface of the Earth, it is going to experience gravitational force because of the mass of the Earth, right? And since it is going to face the gravitational force, the value of that gravitational force will be equal to gmm upon r square. Okay, so this r is the basically the distance between this mass and this mass, right? And due to this gravitational force, the object is going to accelerate because every force means mass into acceleration, right? So this force can also be written as mass into acceleration due to gravity, where g is the acceleration due to gravity experienced by the object when it is on the surface. This is case number one, right? And you can actually equate these two equations. When you will equate them, you will get the value of g, right? But now I need to tell something very serious here. When you bring the object up to a certain depth, okay, so what exactly happens? Now this object of mass small m comes here. Okay, so what happens? That there is an interior sphere and there is an outer shell also. So the gravitational force experienced by this object remains only the force experienced due to the reduced mass of the Earth and not the entire mass. Like when you are going to bring the object up to a certain depth below the surface of Earth, then what you will see that the masses which were there on the surface of Earth, they would be attracting this small mass m. Like this small mass m will be attracted towards the masses present over here. But this small mass m will be attracted because of the masses present over here also. So the gravitational forces, individual ones, they'll cancel out in pairs. And what are you going to see? That when you are bringing the object up to a certain depth, okay, then the forces of gravitation due to this outer portion reduces to zero. Reason being because they'll cancel out in pairs, and ultimately now when the object has come up to a certain depth, then the only force of gravitation that this mass is going to experience will be from this reduced mass, because the other mass of the Earth is giving a nullifying effect of force of gravitation. So now this will not remain, the mass of this sphere will not remain the capital mass m, because the masses have been excluded since you have brought the object up to a certain depth. So the mass that is actually acting now is a reduced mass m dash. In the first case, when the object was on the surface of the Earth, the mass was capital M, with which this object was facing a gravitational force. But right now, right here, the mass is m dash, which is the reduced mass. So, in order to see that, what is going to happen? We have to introduce the concept of density of Earth. Density of earth is something which remains constant throughout. And density of earth is mass upon volume. So like density rho equals to mass upon volume. Since earth is considered to be spherical, so the volume could be written as 4 by 3 pi r cube, right? And you can take out the value of capital M. It will come 4 by 3 pi r cube rho, right? So when you put this value of capital M over here, you're going to get the value of G. But this was the second case, when the object is brought to a certain depth, okay? And I told you that when the object is brought up to a certain depth, then the gravitational force that it is experiencing will be due to the reduced mass, which is m dash. So density will again be constant, okay? No matter what the values, individual values of mass and volume are, but density is going to remain the constant. So rho is equal to mass, which is m dash, upon volume. And volume is 4 upon 3 pi. And what is the radius of this reduced sphere? Since this was capital R and this is d, depth. So the radius becomes of this smaller sphere becomes r minus d. So this will be m dash mass upon volume 4 by 3 pi r minus d whole cube. Okay. This way you will get the value of m dash. See, we will not be using capital M and m dash this time because we have different values there. So take the value of m dash. This will come like this. After that, since you have brought this object up to this depth, so the force of gravitation that it will be experiencing due to the new mass of the earth, that will be G m into m dash upon distance between the two masses, which is r minus d whole square, right? This is Newton's law of gravitation. But due to this gravitational force, what will be happening? The object will be accelerating. It will get accelerated and F will be equal to mg dash. G dash is the new acceleration due to gravity when the object is brought up to a certain depth. Okay, so you can compare these two equations, and when you will compare them, what is going to happen? G dash will become, see, compare these two, m and m cancel, G dash will become this, right? So this is the value of G dash you're going to get. Now it's the time for the comparison. Now we'll compare G upon G dash or G dash upon G, right? I'll do G dash upon G. G dash upon G, this value divided by this value. You're going to get R minus D upon R or 1 minus D upon R, okay? So this way G dash is coming out like this. And G dash can be written as G into 1G minus dG upon R, and G dash is coming out G minus something. So G dash is actually less than G. So you know what I have just proven, that when the object is taken up to a certain depth below the surface of Earth, then the acceleration due to gravity experienced by that object actually decreases. Okay, and the same thing you had studied when you were raising the object up to a certain height above the surface of the earth. तो कोई मैटर नहीं करता, चाहे आप सरफेस से कुछ हाइट पर जा रहे हो, चाहे आप सरफेस से कुछ डेप्थ पर जा रहे हो, एक्सीलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी दोनों टाइम डिक्रीज ही होता है. Okay, and now it's the time to find out what will be the decrease when you will come at the center of the earth. Like this is the surface of the earth and the object is kept here. When you are taking the object below at some depth and you actually bring that object up to the center, आप center तक ले आते हो, then what is going to happen? In this formula, depth can be kept equal to radius of the earth because you have actually traveled the distance below equal to radius of the earth, and you can put r here. So G dash is equal to G 1 minus r by r. R by r is 1. Okay, it's a ratio 1. So G dash is equal to G 1 minus 1 1 minus 1 is 0, and ultimately g dash becomes 0. This means acceleration due to gravity becomes 0 when the object is taken below towards the center of the earth. Okay, this is what you have just proven here. Now it's the time to find out percentage decrease in g. Now, what is percentage decrease in g? Like, we know that when the object is brought up to a certain depth, okay, it is taken below the surface of earth, then the acceleration due to gravity decreases. Now, what's the percentage decrease? This is the value of g dash equals to g 1 minus d by r. Okay, and how to go about it? See, g dash is equal to g minus dg upon r. Okay, so take this to the other side, g minus g dash dg upon r. Take this g to the other side and this will become d by r. देखो ये fractional decrease होता है. अगर किसी numerical में if you have a question, find out the fractional decrease in g when the object is taken below at the depth of this and this. Then you are going to apply this. Okay, and if you are asked percentage decrease, multiply this stuff with 100. It's as simple as that. Example, find the percentage decrease in weight of the body. Okay, weight is mg otherwise. In the weight of the body when taken to a depth of 32 kilometers, okay, below the surface of earth. So, depth is 32 kilometers. D is equal to 32 kilometers. Radius of earth is equal to 6400 kilometers. And now they have asked us the percentage decrease in weight. See, g dash is equal to g 1 minus d by r. Agreed over this? If you multiply m on both sides, going to make no difference, but the equation has been converted to weights. Same way I have written this equation because they have asked about the weight. Okay? And now percentage decrease in weight. Percentage decrease in weight, mg minus mg dash divided by mg, the same way, into 100. Okay, but mg minus mg dash upon mg, this is going to be d by r into 100, and d by r is 32 upon 6400 into 100, and you're going to get your value. So these are the formulas to be used for percentage decrease when it's a case of depth. Okay, had it been a case of height, the formula would have been 2h by r. Here right hand side would have been 2h by r, right, where h is height. Now the last case, effect of shape of earth, like how the shape of earth influences the acceleration due to gravity. This is the actual shape of the earth. It's flattened, okay, towards the other ends. It's flattened towards the poles, and because of this the two radii are unequal. It's not perfectly spherical. There are two radii of earth. This is the equatorial radius. This is the polar radius. Okay, so we know that g, acceleration due to gravity, is equal to gm upon r square. So it is kind of inversely proportional to the square of the radius. So which radius is larger? The radius that is larger is equatorial one. So equatorial radius अगर ये larger है तो g की value ज़्यादा होगी यहाँ पे, क्योंकि g radius के inversely proportional है. So equatorial radius is larger because of the elliptical nature of the earth. So this means the value of g is more at equator and less at poles. That is why when you are going up to the poles, the acceleration due to gravity actually decreases a lot. So this is effect of shape of earth. Earth is not perfectly spherical. Rather, it is flattened at the poles, and that is why we get this result. Okay. So you could be asked a question, why earth has high value of acceleration due to gravity at the equator and lesser at the poles? Reason is because it's flattened at the poles, and the acceleration due to gravity is inversely proportional to the square of the radius, and we could make out that this radius is larger than this radius. Okay, so this way we are going to explain it.